Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. In today's video, we are going to be making DIY temporary tattoos. Here's what you'll need. Printable temporary tattoo sheets, a brayer tool, water, paper towel or cloth, a blow dryer or heat gun, an inkjet printer, and of course, your Cricut. I'm going to start here on Creative Fabrica's website where I got a couple of the images I'm going to use today. I do have a membership with them, so I have unlimited access with the membership. However, if you don't have a membership or maybe don't want a membership, you still can purchase your images one at a time. The first thing I'm going to do is come to the search bar and type in football PNG. And here is the design that I want to use. So I'm going to click on it, then click download, and I will be able to find it here in my downloads. And then I am going to type in love volleyball PNG, and the image I want is here, so I'm going to do the same process. Click on it, click download, and it goes into my downloads folder. From here, I'm going to go over to Design Space and click on upload. As you can see, they are already uploaded. Obviously, if you don't have it uploaded, you would go through the upload image process. So I'm going to click on both of these images and then click add to canvas. Cricut has a newer feature. When you upload images, your image section will open up just to show you that they have similar images in Cricut Design Space for you to choose from. But I'm going to close this, and I want to resize both of these because they are very large. I'm going to just take them to 3 inches for now. Now that I have my designs in Design Space, there are 2 images in Design Space that I want to get. So I'm going to come over to Images, type in cross. And as you can see, all these options pop up, but I have my cross bookmarked. So I'm clicking on that, and then you just click on the image and it automatically comes over to the canvas. And then I'm going to type in music. And once again, you have several options. Here is the image I want. Click on that. Both of these look to be like a darker gray or something. I'm just going to go ahead and change them to black. Okay, now I have the images I want on the canvas. I am going to resize them all to make them smaller for the tattoos. All of my images are smaller. Now, the next thing I want to do is give them all an offset. So with a little trial and error, I found that it is better to give them an offset, especially if you have thinner images. It's like if you had some flowers or a butterfly or something like that, you would definitely want to give it an offset. The cross and the football will probably be okay without an offset, but just to be safe, I'm going to give them all an offset. So I'm going to highlight them all and just move it down so when the offset opens up, I can still see my images. I'm going to start with this one, click on offset. So the outline is here. That is a pretty wide outline. So I'm going to drag this down. And I actually want it to be 0.060. So I'm just going to change that. and hit apply. And I'm going to do that same size for all of my images. All of my images currently have the gray offset. I want to change the offset to white. When you change it to white, it will print on your printer clear. There will be no background. It will just basically be an outline around your image. And if that seems just a little bit confusing, I'll show you once the Cricut has cut the design out. So the first thing I want to do before changing the offset to white is come over to background color. I want to change that so we can actually see the offset, and I'm going to change it to this darker blue. Then I'm going to come over to the layers panel and click on this offset, come over and change it to white, and do the same for the football and the cross. As you can see, I did not change the color for the offset for the music notes yet. I'm going to actually click on it here and show you why. When you click on it, it says contour. So I'm going to click on this down here. And the reason why I said contour, because it does have these little cutouts, these little holes here, and I don't want my offset to have that. So I want to click on hide all contour, close it out. Now I'm going to change it to white. Then I'm going to highlight over each of them and come over to the layers panel and flatten it. And I'm going to do that for all of them. So I'm highlighting the image and the offset. All right, so they're all flattened. And I do have one other image here. And it's just this basketball that says let's go in the middle. Now we're ready to send everything to the printer and then run it through the Cricut. So let's click make. Since I didn't attach any of the images on my canvas, Cricut just placed them where they wanted to, which is fine. I'm just going to move them over just a little bit because they don't really need to be on top of each other. The one thing you want to make sure you do is mirror your images. So I'm going to click on that and then we can click on continue. So to start, we're going to click send to printer. You really don't need the bleed on for this, especially because we have that offset that's going to ultimately be clear. So we can turn that off. But I do want to turn on use system dialog and then I'll click print. My printer is already selected, so I'm going to come here where it says media and quality. I am going to click rear tray, come to media type, and the paper is matte. So I'm going to click on matte photo paper. And then click best because I want my printer to print it at its best quality. And then click on print. According to the instructions, you want to dry the printed area on high with your blow dryer for 2 to 3 minutes. Since I'm using a heat gun that gets much hotter than the average blow dryer, I have it on low with the nozzle away from the paper to prevent scorching. I'm also moving the heat gun side to side to ensure I don't stay in one area too long. Now that the images are dry, I'm going to apply the clear film that's also provided with the printable sheets. I start by cutting the clear film down to size, ensuring that I don't cover the registration lines so the Cricut can easily scan the lines without any issues. To apply the film, I'm going to start by exposing about 1.5 inches by folding the backing down. Then slowly lay the film down onto the sheet. Next, I use my brayer tool to make sure that it is completely covering all of the images and that there aren't any air bubbles. I decided to use my light grip mat, but I believe a standard grip mat would be fine if that's all you have. Once again, I use my brayer tool to make sure my material is secured to the mat. Once your material is ready for the Cricut, you want to select your cut settings by going to Browse All Materials, type Printable in the search box, then select Printable Temporary Tattoo Paper. Keep in mind, with this cut setting, the Cricut will make 2 passes, as you see here. To prevent curling of the material, I'm going to flip my mat over and remove the mat slowly from the tattoo paper. The temporary tattoos are ready to be applied. To apply the tattoo, you start by removing the clear film, which will leave the design on the white printable sheet. Then you apply it to the desired area. Once you have it in place, wet your paper towel or cloth and squeeze out the excess water. Hold your towel over the design for 25 to 35 seconds. When the time is up, you will remove the towel, then the white printable sheet, which should leave you with a temporary tattoo that can be removed with soap and water. Here's how to remove it. Apply soap and water to the tattoo and gently rub it off. It did take a little extra scrubbing to completely remove all of the adhesive. However, it did come off in the end. Overall, this is a fun and easy way of having a tattoo. Since you're making it yourself, you can choose something very specific to you. This would also be good to add as a party favor, or to enhance a costume idea. Also, there are no printed instructions on the inside. However, if you turn it over, there's a QR code that will take you to Cricut's website with the instructions and frequently asked questions. Alright, you guys, thank you for watching today's video. Before you go, don't forget to like, leave a comment down below, subscribe if you haven't already, and turn on your bell notifications so you don't miss a future video. Until next time, later CB crew.